Growing up, I was made to believe that spirituality and science were separate. It's a lie. They're one and the same. In fact, science is proving the things that spiritual people have known for years. It's confirming. People think that science is against God and that if you believe in science, you don't believe in God. For those who actually study and understand science, you will understand that the more and more people study and look into things and things get revealed about this world that we live in, the more it points to a creator, and most importantly, the more it reveals about the spiritual, astral, and physical worlds. Okay, that's the spiritual, the soulish, and the physical. Now, this law, the reason why it's a fundamental and it's in the fundamental series is because if you understand this, your whole life will change. And I genuinely want people to be able to live a fulfilling life, a life where they're happy and they don't have to endure things that they don't necessarily like for sustained periods of time. You know, you need to understand who you are, what you were designed to be, and how you can actively work towards that. So this video is about the law of vibration. For my religious people, specifically Christians, because I grew up Christian and I know what it's like in the circle. I know you hear certain words like frequency and vibration and alarm bells start ringing. I want you to stay with me for a while. You can leave maybe after 10 or so minutes, but this presentation is purely scientific, right? And I'm going to show you how it links to the spirituality. I'm Joshua. Let's get into this. Why is this law important? It will teach you or help you become a god. It will help you connect with God. Why are they both capital G? I thought, we can't be like the Most High God. If you believe that you are a child of God and you are one with God, then you are both made of the same substance, which is why I use a capital G for two. You weren't made to be a slave or a servant for the rest of your life. You have to grow and become a son. Son being gender neutral, so that's not just for the men. Women have an equally as important role. But when it comes to the spiritual walk in life, it gets to a point where you have to start walking in who you're supposed to be. If you look at Yeshua's blueprint, when he came to the earth, he taught the disciples how to then go and quote unquote become fishers of men. He told them, you need to go out, you need to do all these things, etc. He said, you're supposed to be greater than me. Today, we've become very used to just sitting in a building and worshipping, but not actually going out and learning how to impact the world. This will help you learn how to impact the world in whatever sphere you are in. Okay? So that's why I say become a god and connect with God. It's that complete oneness and union. It will help you create whatever you want. It will help you develop supernatural abilities. It will help you fix your body, your mental health. It will help with traveling into the spiritual realm and other dimensions. It will help you grow in divinity, emotional awareness, and cultivate energy. I'm going to be teaching more about this stuff in our Discord. You can check that out. You can see what's all included there. Let's get into this. Thank you for those who are still watching and who are going to watch this through to the end. Nikola Tesla, scientist, respected. He actually, or his friend, designed this thing that I have around my neck, which will all make sense once you watch this presentation. But Nikola Tesla, one of the world's most renowned scientists, said, if you want this to know or understand the secrets of the universe, you need to think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Now, I understand a lot of religious people, as soon as we hear those kind of words, we think, new age, demonic. Understand, if you read and study history, there were certain people who pushed certain ideals into religion to stop you from harnessing your true power. Why am I saying this? Energy, frequency, and vibration are scientific terms. They're not spiritual terms. This whole presentation is pretty much going to be scientific. But you have to remember that science and spirituality are one. So please stay with me if you can. And he also said that all things have a frequency and a vibration. Now, I'm going to show you how this is science. In fact, anyone who's from the UK and who's sat GCSEs, I'll be able to prove this to you. You were in fact taught this. Now we have Albert Einstein. We love Einstein. I love Einstein. He said that everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. And if you match the frequency of the reality you want, you cannot help but get that reality. And this is not philosophy. This is physics. Now that matching the frequency to get your desired reality sounds a lot like what New Age people say, isn't it? So why is one of the most prolific scientists of our time saying that it has nothing at all to do with philosophy, but it's fully scientific? Is there some sort of science that we've rejected that keeps us in bondage, that keeps us living a life that we don't enjoy, that keeps us unhappy, that keeps us in chains when we were designed to be free? We shall see. So this is the law. I know there are quite a few words on the screen. I'm going to explain this in very simple terms. The law itself is that everything in the universe is in constant motion and vibration, and all the things have their own unique frequency, etc. What that means is simply this. Because we are all made of the same thing, being an atom, and the way in which we experience things depends on the speed at which atoms vibrate, solid, liquids, gases, it's all made of atoms, it's just about how quickly they move. Basically, everything in the universe moves, okay? Even though my hand is still, the atoms within my hand are currently moving. They're vibrating. They may not be vibrating as quickly as in this drink because it's liquid, and they may not be vibrating as quickly as the air or the gases that we experience, but they're vibrating. Now I want you to hold that in mind, right? The faster a thing vibrates, the more energy it has, and the more intangible it becomes. You see how we feel air, but we can't really see and capture air in the same way we can density. I want you guys to understand that, because when it comes to spirit travel and other things, if you want to start traveling in different dimensions that we can't see, you're going to need to learn how to engage dimensions that are higher. This is not a theory, this is a scientific law. A lot of scientists are atheists and they'll still tell you about solids, liquids and gases. It's not to be disputed. Now, what's interesting is that our thoughts, feelings and desires can also be measured scientifically, especially with emotions and feelings. Beautiful technology exists today. You have guys such as Dr. Joe Dispenza who do amazing research into this stuff. It's worth having a look at. We were taught this in GCSEs. Solids, liquids and gases, all made of the same thing, atoms, they vibrate at different frequencies. What does the word frequency mean? Frequency is just how often something happens. Now remember I told you that everything vibrates. If everything vibrates, it means that everything has a frequency because everything vibrates at a certain speed. What that means is my hand has a frequency, the human body has a frequency. It's not just sound. Water has a frequency. Everything has a frequency. It's because everything's made of atoms. Now, stay with me. If you don't remember anything else, remember this. In the most simple way I can put it possible, if we are all made of atoms, I'm made of atoms, this table's made of atoms, everything's made up of atoms, the only thing that separates me from this table is the rate at which I vibrate at. So everything you see and experience in the natural world is made up of the same substance. Now it's funny, I've read some books where a lot of successful people in ancient times through till now had this understanding, and they understood how science worked, and so they understood how they could then control the world with that creative power that God has given us. But due to systems of control, because they want you to be a slave, they don't want you to know this. And so they'll keep this kind of stuff hidden. They'll teach you enough, but won't tell you everything you need to know to truly be free, so that you can truly be happy. It's all psychological. They feed you enough to where they think that they're helping you grow, but they won't give you everything that you need to grow, because then you become truly free and they can't control you and they can't exploit you. I'm talking about the systems of the world in general. Electrons are everywhere. Let's say I want to walk through a wall, this wall here. Right now, I'm unable to walk through a wall because if I try, my hand hits it. It can't pass through. Will this always be the case? Well, if I was able to get the atoms in my body to vibrate at a higher frequency, if I can raise my vibration high enough, I can phase through that wall like Barry Allen does in The Flash. Now, people watching this may be thinking, what? Like, why is this guy talking about phasing through walls? Well, for anyone who spirit travels or who's experienced any type of spiritual travel, translation, whatever it may be, you're engaging parts of yourself that actually operate at higher frequencies. So there isn't actually that much difference between traveling in the spirit and me being able to walk through this wall. It's just that a lot of people don't know how to raise their physical body in the same way they do their other bodies. Now, why am I saying this? Okay, I want to keep you guys here, okay? For my Christians out there, because I love you guys. When you read the Bible and you see Yeshua walk on water and call Peter out, and people often focus on the fact that he started to sink. By understanding this law of vibration, understanding how things work, you can walk on water. I'm letting you know you can walk on water. It's possible if you know how to raise the frequency of your body. If you don't even know how the universe works or this law, you maybe try it, but you then understand there are many ways that he could have done that. He could have matched the frequency of the water and walked on it, but understanding the science behind certain things and how things work can help you then work towards them. Because then it's not just her. He was just a god, so he was able to walk on water. You then start thinking, he was able to raise the frequency of his body. So then you can go and ask God, okay, God, how do I change the physical frequency of my body to match my environment around me so I can walk on water like Jesus did? Yeshua did. Let's get onto the emotional side of this law. However we interact with this world, whatever we encounter through our senses, through everything, then causes emotions. Now, it's a chemical thing, right? The body actually responds to something emotionally. There's like an electronic signal. The thoughts and everything, they aren't just some type of thing that isn't scientific and that can't be measured, because it means that you respond to things happening. Things may happen in the world and there'll be some sort of electrical or chemical response within your body, within your system to respond to that. Now, this all starts in the brain. This is a key. When you then understand the law of vibration, you understand how important it is to watch how you respond to reality, i.e. being able to control your emotions better. Now, this isn't spiritual. This has to do with now the emotional side, controlling your emotions, things like anxiety, depression, all of those types of things, being able to remain in a state of peace, all of those types of things. Ding, 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 ding. Don't get freaked out by the rainbow colors and the guy sitting with his legs crossed. You know, everyone likes a bit of stretching. You know, I'm going to get a lot of questions, but I'm just trying to walk you through something important here. Emotions, because they release those kinds of things, they actually can be measured. Dr. David Hawkins has measured emotion. Scientifically, you can. Now, of course, I know there may be people that watch this video and still say, and come and say to me, that's a whole lot of nonsense, which is fine. I don't really have anything I can say to sort of dispute that. The scientific readings are online. If you want to dispute doctors who have PhDs and all of this, then go ahead. But hey man, I ain't trying to argue. I'm just presenting what's here. The emotions that you carry can be read. They can literally be measured from your body. Have you ever wondered why when there's tension in a room, you can literally feel it? Have you ever wondered why you can walk into a room after there's been an argument and you can tell that something's going on in the atmosphere? Have you ever wondered why when you're around someone who is depressed, you can sort of feel that and sometimes things may get transferred over you? Or you can be around someone who's joyous and just full of light, and when you leave them, you then feel the same way. I've experienced both. We experience these things, but as soon as science presents the proof of what we all experience and feel, we then start to think, oh wait, hold on, no, because it looks in a way that's foreign, or it looks in a way that is that we've been sort of designed to think, oh no, that looks a bit he, who, or hey, hey. This is science, right? Now, yes, there are examples that I'm given which are spiritual, but fundamentally, this is all science. And this is why it's in the Foundations playlist, and I'm taking my time to explain this properly. Self-healing. Within the body itself, and you can research this, but because everything has a frequency, the human body has a frequency. When the human body's frequency drops below a certain level, it begins to decay and die, right? Now, if you think about it, it makes sense. What happens when you die? Your body literally starts to rot away. The only difference between someone dead and someone is alive, or who's alive, is the rate at which their cells are able to vibrate, because healthy cells can then replenish themselves, etc., etc. As soon as the processes stop, your body shuts down. For those who want to understand the science, they can read this slide. I'm not trying to bore people. I'm just trying to explain things in enough detail. If you can change your emotions, right, or how you respond to situations, then you can literally cause your physical body to create different genes. Think about this. Remember, when you feel fear, what happens? Adrenaline, all of that stuff gets released based on an emotion. Emotion causes physical response in the body. That's just a rule. Emotion causes physical response in the body. That technically means that stress can cause sickness, which means stress can cause the rate at which your body vibrates to decrease. If you can do things, and if the emotions that you feel can cause the vibration of your body or the frequency of your body to decrease, then surely there are things you can do to make the vibration of your body increase, which means that surely there's ways for you to keep yourself alive for longer through emotional regulation, which means there are ways for you to heal yourself purely based on how you feel. Dr. Joe Dispenza has proved this through getting people to meditate and focus on things that are positive and their body responds in a certain way. This is all the law of vibration, scientific. Now, another application, because I'm not trying to go too deep into this today, mystical encounters. So, atoms. If everything is made up of atoms or the same thing, what happens if you learn how to have complete control over that one thing? The answer is that you have the power to control all things. Now, this is oneness. Who is God? Father, Holy Spirit, Yeshua, you, me, all included. If we believe that we are one with the creator of all things, and that means that on an atomic level we share the same substance as them, but we've already learned that we are made of atoms and everything in the universe is made of atoms. But then people say that, God has no physical form. People say that, God is a spirit. Spirits have substance. You look at what's going on at CERN, they're already proving and finding ways to access the metaphysical and other dimensions. The spiritual has a science behind it. The emotional, the astral, the soulish has a science behind it, and so does the physical. So, if you then understand that you are one with everything, it means that you can be anywhere as you are connected to anywhere. Now, this is where spirit travel comes in, but more about that on another day. So, this was last year. I was taken into space, and this is what Father showed me. I talk about meditation in my ebook, The Path to Peace, and just the practices of connecting myself back up to God. It's not that we're any different or separate from God, but we've created separation, and so we have to then sort of deconstruct that. And when you do deconstruct that, what then begins to happen is you begin to realize that you can do more things that you can realize, and you have more abilities. So anyway, I was meditating and then I was taken into space, and this is what Father showed me. He showed me this within my own body. So I was looking at my own body, and within it there were all of these stars, galaxies. It literally, I say it looked a lot like the picture on the left, but literally just completely see-through, right? And once that happened, I was like rah, and then bam, I was basically back where I was. Now, I didn't know what the law of vibration was, but I knew that God had already told me and shown me that we are one with everything. And so from that point onwards, based on this, I then knew within myself that I was one with everything. I didn't know how to explain it. The law of vibration helps scientifically explain the mystical encounter that I'd experienced. But as I said, science and spirituality are merged. Anything that science doesn't yet know that exists in the spiritual, I guarantee you over the many years and years, science will then prove. So what have we spoken about? We've spoken about developing supernatural abilities, being able to fix your body, emotional awareness. But I don't want to take too much of your time. I've said a lot. There are other parts and things and whatever to this, but on the fundamental level, what I kind of want you guys to understand is that everything has a vibration, has a frequency. You are made up of the same substance as everything around you, which means that if you can learn how to change and alter your frequency, you can essentially change your life. If you'd like to be a part of a community of people, now this isn't just spiritual, this is people who are involved in business, people who want to understand more about leadership, but also, you know, the spiritual stuff, feel free to join the Discord server. We've got people from all around the world, so it's a good place to make connections. If you want to meet people that are in a similar field and ask them questions, you can, it's all there. And the link will be in the description for this video. But yeah, I want to thank you for those who did stay to the end. I'm not going to be uploading frequently until it is time for me to, but every now and then when I feel like there's something that's ready to be released, I'll release it. And I feel like there are some people out there who will benefit from this. Basically, you're all made of one substance, which means that you can choose to match with something or not match with something. You can change things simply by decision. You were designed to be one with God. There's that oneness, that unity, which means that you have command over atoms. So if you believe that you are, you know, a slave or perhaps a servant, then you won't be able to relinquish control over your life, and things will continue to happen to you, which is, I wouldn't say it's fine, but that's a reality that people often choose. I hope that with time they can grow and develop and mature to sort of come out of that. But for those of you who understand or feel and you understand that, no, I should have more control over my life, understanding this law, just having it in the back of your head that, hold on, everything's made of atoms, so I can control everything. And it means that, for example, let's say you need resources, or you don't have enough money, or you want a specific job. You understand that by getting yourself into a certain state and commanding the environment and the atoms around you, you can then create and draw and attract those things to you. Anyway, I've taken enough of your time. I love you guys. Stay blessed. If you have any questions, feel free to message me. I love you guys, honestly. And I'm looking forward to growing alongside you. I don't want people just to sort of think that I'll put me above themselves and think that I can do anything that they can't do, because we're all humans, we're all one, the same, and we can all grow together. Love, take care.